folks, I'd like to show you a way of creating interactive lighting inside GameMaker, and you're going to have at the same time a sneak peek of just a small section of a game I'm developing. So we're in the play mode in GameMaker here. So the player is going to reach a door. Door's locked. We'll have to get a key, find a key, open the door, and then when the player is gonna walk down the path, it's gonna be a dark tunnel, and there's an invisible wall, and it says it's too dark in here. You need a torch of some sort to venture forward. All right, the player will now go out, find a torch. In this case, it's a candle. And that's where the magic happens. Now the player will go in the tunnel, and the walls are getting illuminated as he walks forward. Now I'm not gonna go any further because I don't want to spoil too much. But let's talk about how it's done. Also, just one thing noteworthy is that the walls are not getting darker as the character moves away from them, and you're going to see why in a moment. But first, let's look at how it's set up in VoxEdit. All right, we're in VoxEdit here, and so I'm going to show you the structure of these walls that I created. So essentially the way this works is that there's various levels of illumination, and you can see on the right I have one object or one asset for each illumination value. So that's here, step one is the fully lit, bit dimmer, bit dimmer, bit dimmer until it goes to full black here. So the way I put it together is there's first a container here, which is slightly larger, because when it contains all of the other assets, I did not want to have a Z fighting issue here. And that's when two surfaces have exactly the same distance from camera, and the camera doesn't know which one goes in front, so it flickers, it randomly chooses per triangle which one's in front. So I had to make this one, the container, a little bit bigger, and they're all inside except one at the time that sticks out. And you can see for example here, it's the dimmer one that goes on top. At first it's the black one, it's the dimmer, and then it gets the one that is moved up is the one that's incrementally brighter. And the animation I chose is a stepped animation. I didn't want them to move up and down. I wanted to have a stability in the structure of the wall. And another thing that's noteworthy is that I named the animations for to be able to use them with a door mechanism. So there's closed, closing, idle, open, and opening. But we'll see in a moment that I didn't end up using a door mechanism. So let's go back to GameMaker. All right, we're back in GameMaker, and let's play it. I'm in the same test scene of the previous tutorial, right, where remember I showed how to have some characters react to the passage of the character. Well, I'm using exactly the same mechanism. So there's a detect entity here without any text being displayed. It detects the avatar. In the case of my game, it was detecting the candlestick. And then sends a message, trigger 1 here, which is in turn read by my tile here. So the tile has an animated decoration, which is set to play the opening animation with a toggle behavior off by default. The initial behavior state makes it off, so it doesn't play. And by default, when it doesn't play, it uses the idle animation. So it doesn't play, and then once it gets the trigger 1 message, then it goes ahead and it plays the animation. Same here for second, third, and fourth. The only difference is the message being sent and the message being received. So let's check this out. So that's how it's implemented in the short demo that I've shown you a minute ago. So this works. It's quite stable. The issue is that it doesn't turn off when the player goes away. So let's try with a door mechanism, because doors can open and close. So there's a door mechanism here. So it's gonna play the opening animation is opening, which turns on, and closing is turning off the light. Other than that, it's exactly the same structure as the one with the animated decoration. So this is a detect entity that is going to send the trigger 5. So trigger 5, 6, 7, etc. And then you're going to see those illuminate, but we're going to talk about them in a moment. It's just because I didn't bother changing the message. So both these rows use the same message. All right, so let's go here. Turns on, great. Turns on, awesome. It turns on and it turns on. But you see that it didn't turn off automatically, right? So second time I move, oh yeah, that's one of the issues, is that it becomes really finicky. Why this one refuses to turn off now? It's really weird. So on the second time the player goes over the tile, in theory it should toggle. So it should here it should toggle on, but you see how, that's the reason I didn't use it, because it's completely unstable. In any case, that's not the mechanism we need. What we need is a listener to or a detect entity to know whenever the player goes onto the tile, and another one. So this one is trigger 5. This tile is reading as well the trigger 5, and another detect entity to know when the player gets out of the tile, and again it's triggering the keyword, the message trigger 5. So let's go there. In theory, when you go on the tile, it turns on, and when you go outside of the tile, it turns off. Well, okay, it went a little bit too fast here, but you see what I mean. So in theory, when you have two of them, it should behave properly. The only issue is that it becomes super finicky and unstable. This is with GameMaker 0.6.14. Yeah, so essentially that is why I didn't use the door. And there's another issue as well. It's because it loses its what's the term, collision. You can see when the door is open, the collision's off. Actually, let's go out and in again. All right. So at first, these grounds have collisions, and when the door is opening or the animation's playing, it loses its collision. So if you have a tunnel, that's not good. You'd have to create another ground. And take a look at the character. You're going to see it's going to step up and then down when it's going to open. So up, down, up, down. You see that? So that's another issue. It's not a biggie, because you can definitely create a ground plane under invisible. The main issue was the instability. If you have other ideas of how you can set it up so it's more stable, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.